Welcome to this deep dive on the Diversity Visa Lottery and the harsh reality of high case numbers. First, we will set expectations and explain why being selected is only the start. Then, we will unpack how the queue really works, what the danger zone means, and how the Visa Bulletin controls your fate. Finally, we will walk through a strategy to maximize your slim chance and avoid common mistakes. Here is our roadmap. First, the brutal truth about high case numbers. Next, the mechanics of the DVQ. After that, the danger zone and what it means in practice. Then, your optimal strategy if your number is high. We will also look at how to read the Visa Bulletin effectively. Finally, we will end with key takeaways and a short quiz. To begin, let us face the brutal truth. The Diversity Visa program selects roughly twice the number of winners as there are visas available. Consequently, not all winners will be interviewed, let alone receive a visa. Case numbers determine your place in the queue. If your number is high, especially above 20,000 in competitive regions such as Europe, you are statistically at a disadvantage. This is not about merit or eligibility. It is pure queue management.
Now, let us see how the system actually processes cases.
Here is how the queue functions in practice. After selection, each winner is assigned a case number. You submit your DS-260, but your interview can only be scheduled if your number becomes current, meaning at or below the monthly cutoff published in the Visa Bulletin for your region. The fiscal year ends on September 30th. If your number has not become current by then, your selection is permanently voided. Therefore, timing is everything, and the monthly bulletin is the key signal you must track.
With that foundation, let us explore the danger zone for high case numbers.
This timeline illustrates the DV fiscal year from October through September. Early in the year, cutoff numbers typically increase gradually as processing capacity ramps up. Mid-year, there can be plateaus or slower movement due to administrative slowdowns or embassy capacity constraints. Occasionally, toward late summer, a sudden jump occurs if there are cancellations or unused visas. However, the hard stop is September 30th. If your case number does not become current by then, there is no carryover, and your selection expires. Let us now define the danger zone. For competitive regions such as Europe, a case number around 21,900 has historically been at significant risk, though year-to-year outcomes vary. Because the program selects roughly twice as many winners as there are visas, lower-numbered cases use up slots first. If the final cutoff by September 30th does not reach your number, you will not be invited to interview. This elimination is numerical rather than merit-based, reflecting simple queue mechanics.
Next, we will contrast myths with facts to sharpen expectations.
Here are common misconceptions versus reality. Being selected does not guarantee a visa. It simply grants a spot in an oversubscribed queue. Filing the DS-260 late can undermine your chances, because your case may not be ready to schedule when it becomes current. Education and work history do not move you ahead. The order is determined by your case number and regional cutoffs. Finally, waiting to prepare documents until after the interview email can be fatal to timing. Early preparation is essential. Now, let us translate these facts into a concrete action plan. Here is your high number playbook. First, submit your DS-260 immediately to avoid processing delays. Second, track the Visa Bulletin every month for your region and note the pace of movement. Third, assemble all required civil documents and translations now, including birth and marriage certificates and police clearances. Fourth, monitor document validity periods, because some expire, and renewals can take time. Fifth, keep an eye on your embassy's capacity and local backlog, as that influences interview availability. Sixth, maintain a backup plan, because the year could end before your case number becomes current.
Next, we will detail the document checklist and typical validity considerations.
This table outlines common documents, typical validity patterns, and practical tips. Police certificates often have limited validity that varies by country, so confirm requirements and request them early. Passports should remain valid for your intended travel timeline, making early renewal wise if expiry is near. Certified birth and marriage or divorce certificates generally do not expire, but ensure details match your DS-260 and obtain translations where required. Military records, when applicable, can take time. Start early.
For translations, use qualified translators and include any required certification statements.
With documents in hand, let us test your understanding with a quick quiz. Question: what primarily determines the order in which DV cases are processed for interviews? Options: A. Case number relative to the Visa Bulletin cutoff. B. The date you submitted your DS-260. C. Your email response speed. D. Your education level.
You may pause the video now to think about the answer.
We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is A. The principal driver is your case number relative to the Visa Bulletin cutoff for your region. While filing the DS-260 late can delay readiness and harm your chances, the queue itself is ordered by case numbers becoming current. This state diagram maps the journey of a DV case. After selection, you submit the DS-260 and prepare documents. While waiting for the cutoff, your case cannot be scheduled until it becomes current. Once current, it moves to interview scheduled and then interviewed. Outcomes include issued, refused, or administrative processing. Administrative processing may resolve to issued or refused, but if the fiscal year ends while waiting, or even after becoming current, cases can still expire on September 30th if issuance has not occurred. Timing remains the critical constraint. To read the Visa Bulletin effectively, locate the Diversity Visa section and identify your region. Note the cutoff number for the upcoming month. If your region is listed as current, all case numbers are eligible that month.
Track the movement month over month to understand pacing and whether jumps are occurring.
However, even if your number becomes current, a late DS-260 or missing documents can prevent your interview from being scheduled. Consequently, readiness and timing must work together. Question: if your case number never becomes current by September 30th, what happens to your DV selection? Options: A. It rolls over automatically to next year. B. It is voided permanently. C. You can request an extension. D. You can switch embassies to keep it alive.
You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video.
The correct answer is B. The Diversity Visa program is bound to a single fiscal year. If your case number is not current by September 30th, your selection expires and does not roll over to the next year. These are the core insights. Case numbers govern order, and the Visa Bulletin signals eligibility. High numbers must operate with cautious pessimism. Immediate DS-260 filing and early document preparation are essential. Monitor monthly cutoffs and embassy capacity, because movement can stall or jump unexpectedly. Finally, the fiscal year ends on September 30th, with no carryover.
In conclusion, adopt a dual mindset. Operate as though you will be interviewed, while recognizing the substantial risk that your number may not become current. Remove all self-inflicted obstacles by filing immediately and preparing documents perfectly. Finally, remain vigilant throughout the year, because a late cutoff jump can occur, and readiness is the difference between seizing the opportunity and missing it. Disclaimer: this content is educational and does not constitute legal advice. Policies, embassy operations, and cutoff movements change over time and vary by region. Always review official resources, such as travel.state.gov, and consider consulting a qualified immigration professional for your specific circumstances. With that said, thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for watching. If this video helped clarify the DV high number reality, please like the video, share it with others who need it, and subscribe for more guides. In the comments, tell us your strategy and what you are doing this month to stay ready. See you in the next video.